Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today back here in Misty Marsh. I do hope you're well. Right, last episode we were working on our rock work around here. We created a nice little pool with this lovely statue spitting water out. Did a whole load of work under here. We created this rather big cliff around this corner here, which I think has turned out nice. I will get some foliage on there. I'm not going to go overboard with foliage because it is meant to be a cliff face. So there's not really going to be much growing on there, but I'll get some bits around the top and maybe a bit around the base. Got a few signs on here as well, just showing people bats down that way and fossa down this way. Filled in down the right hand side here, but we still got this little area here to do. Coming all the way under here, and we still got foliage to do, so let's just crack on. So it's going to be another scenery episode, this one, I'm afraid. Then we are going to move on to another habitat, and I was actually thinking I might do a habitat here, so I don't want this big path to go any further. I don't want the zoo to have big paths really. I want them to be small. I'm actually debating I might change this and make it a small one. I just think it looks out of place. I want to keep it small. So yes, actually, now that I think about it, and now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm going to shrink this. This is going to be a smaller path, doing the same thing but smaller. But then I was thinking of having a habitat here somewhere, so I might actually bring this down the slope again because I want to play around with the gradient in the zoo. I want lots of ups and downs. That's going to create a bit of an area here. So what I was thinking I might do is almost try and create a mountain here with lots of waterfalls coming down, just disappearing down behind all these rocks and these trees here, and then onto the side of the pathway here as it goes downwards. But that'll be your next episode. For now, I really want to just get this area finished. So yes, it is largely going to be more rock work today, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but you know, I like to think that my videos are quite relaxing, you know, even if there's not always that much happening. Just getting rid of the support under there. So yeah, it's you know, it's one of those things with this kind of zoo. When you're doing a lot of heavy theming, you do end up with a lot of repeating, which is fine. It's not something I'd want to do again too soon, though. You know, I am now that I've never really done a zoo quite this themed before, and now that I am doing it, it has made me realise that it is repetitive, which is fine when you're playing on your own and you're just having fun. But obviously, I'm doing this to entertain you guys, and I do appreciate that you don't want to just see me doing the same thing over and over again. So I apologise, but I can't really get away from that now. So I'm just thinking here, I'm just going to get this rock on here, and then I'm going to put a statue, I think, on that rock of some sort. Let's just come out of here. Let's have a little look. I like the idea of a little crocodile on there. I wonder if he will align to surface properly on that. Oops. What do we think? I think that looks pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, just a little crocodile sitting up on the rock there. Awesome. Right, let's get back to our rocks. So we need this bridge here to look nice and strong. So I'm thinking it's oh, hang on, let's get rid of this. It's going to need a nice big rock like this under here, making it look well supported. There we go, that looks good to me. Let's just get another one here, and then I can bring it down a bit like this, kind of get this edge covered here. So yeah, nice big rocks along here, leading to a sort of a point at the end there. That looks good to me. I'll continue this once I sort this pathway out. Right, and then let's come back into this one. And let's come down under here, if I can see it. Right, let's just get something a bit smaller in here. There we go. And then back to this side. Let's keep this quite strong. I want this to look nice and solid, quite steep, so it doesn't tempt people to climb up it. There we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? And that looks sturdy enough there. Ah, no, is there anything we need to do under here? Look at that, it's actually a little hole going right down under here. Let's fill that in while we're here. Lovely. Okay. That's looking good now. It's a nice little tunnel down through there. And then we've got the water tunnel down here. Just appearing out the rocks. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to look like it's coming out of anywhere else. Ah, yes. Now, let's just do this side actually here. We've got a few little gaps to try and fill in under here if I can. Doesn't need to be completely covered, but as much as I can, I'll try and get this edge filled. Let's have a look. Something like that. So you don't want it poking out on the pathway. Actually, hang on. That is poking out on the pathway. It's not like this is an angle that you see it from anyway. There we go. Lovely. And I will get some foliage in that as well. Right, so let's sort this pathway out and then I'll do some foliage. Okay, good. We haven't got anyone walking along here at the moment. Actually, yes, we have. That's fine. I think they get moved, don't they, if you delete the path that people are standing on. Good stuff. Right, so we want the width down. Okay, that's not quite going to work. I wonder if I need to do it a bit further back. Okay, that can work. I can work with that. Okay, that's interesting. And then it's gone flat on there. And then I'll bring it right over like that. That works. I can then add the railing onto this bit as well. Let's just have a look. What's that look like? Oh no, it's gone well funky there, hasn't it? Hang on. No, that is not good at all. Okay, how does that look? It's a little bit bumpy, but actually, do you know what? I don't mind that. That looks realistic. You could walk on that. That's fine. Good. So there we go. That's our pathway up to there. And then I do want it to go kind of right across the cliff edge over here. Hang on, let's have a look. Do I want it to actually poke out at all? No, to be honest, I probably don't. I think it just kind of comes around the back here. So it's kind of, you know, you can kind of see, you get a view, you know, so I won't block this view too much. But, you know, you can see quite a lot of the zoo from there. So that's basically what I want. And it's a bit undulating, which is nice. And then when it gets to here, it's going to come around like this, and then it's going to start probably going down in a spiral or something. Not really sure. I'll work on that at some point. Obviously, I don't know what's going on this side either. Excellent. Okay, let's get back to our nature then. And let's do some fern work. Right, so this, I will do this aligned to surface because it looks good. So let's come in and work a bit around our little water feature first. get this looking nice and jungly. Again, not over the top, but yeah, you do want a fair bit. And then, like I said, I'm going to get some up on here, but again, not too much, just dotted through there. And then we've got, hang on, let's see, we've done that way. I could definitely get one or two up on here. And then we've got this whole water feature here as well that hasn't got anything on it yet. Hang on, is that floating? Yes, that is floating. Yeah. I don't want to hide the crocodile, but I'll give him a little bit of foliage cover there. And then down underneath, and let's get a load more going on here. Again, this will all make more sense once it's got other foliage on it as well. Okay, a little bit around the actual water itself. Good stuff. Yeah, so there'll be some more rock work on this side later on, but for now let's focus on this. Oh look, I put one right on top of this one here. There we go. Right, so now we've got some big ferns. I definitely feel like we could do with one or two of these in here. Let's get rid of the snapping on this actually. Could definitely get maybe one there, maybe even one at the front here. I think that looks nice. Yep, that's good. Probably, yeah, I could fit something up on here, I reckon. Get one right up on the top here. Why not? And then maybe a small one lower down. Or is that... No, I don't think that's quite going to work. Oh, hello. Got a few escaping animals there. What were they? God, I have no idea where they came from. Were they fossers? No, surely not. Oh, don't know. I'll have to keep my eye on that. I have no idea what animal that was. But it got out. Never mind. Yes, let's... I mean, there's tons of space around here, isn't there, for a couple of these. That looks really nice. Kind of separates the two areas a bit, and then I can continue a bit of that more along here. What's it look like as you come up here? This is looking good. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, let's get some tree ferns. I am going to get, obviously, the big trees. I'm going to get one right up the side of this statue here. But for now, let's try and just get a few tree ferns dotted around. Don't mind one or two actually growing in the water. I think they look quite nice. Let's get something up on here. Let's get one here, give it a bit of a lean. Now, yes, we've got this bit at the entrance as well, so don't need much on here. One or two of these I think will look good. As you come in here, let's just have a look. Yeah, that looks fine. Don't need any more there. I think that's all you're going to need from that. Let's have a look as you come down here. I think we could do with something up on here. Get one just by the side here. This is often the best way of deciding how you do your foliage. Actually get down to the people's point of view and have a walk and see what you think it needs. So again, you've got a bit of a gap in here. So I feel like you could quite easily get a couple of little ones down in here. Maybe even another bigger one in the gap there. Don't want to block too much of this view this way, so I think that's fine there. And then you've got that there. Okay, good. Right, let's just get our big old trees in. So yeah, I was hoping I could get one of these kind of growing right around this statue here. Let's just get rid of this little fern at the bottom actually. I don't know if the angled one is going to look better. Let's just come up and see. Actually, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Coming right up like that. Yeah, I think, yeah, out like that. So it looks like it's kind of growing into the statue. And then up here through the rocks. And then that actually looks really nice from up here. It just looks like a tree on the rocks here. But then you realise that its roots have gone all the way down there. So, yep, I like that. That's good. I don't want to do any more here because I don't want to obstruct this view. But certainly I think this middle area here could do with a nice big tree coming out of it like this. Maybe its roots, there we go, roots coming down into this water on this side. And then again, I probably don't need anything here. Let's just let's experiment. Let's just see. I might actually, yeah, I think actually that might look nice having one there coming out of the rocks and covering up a bit the railings down there. Let's just have a look as you come down here. Yes, that looks nice there actually. I like that. There we go. As we come down through here. Lovely stuff. Yeah, that looks good. I'll tell you one thing I haven't done actually for a little while is put any of our little mist effects. Now, did I save this as a blueprint? Or no, I'll tell you what I did. I did it as a favourite, didn't I? Mist medium. Yeah, so I feel like I should get a bit of mist going on. Maybe down in our water. Yeah, let's get one in the water there. I feel like we should probably have something underneath our little tunnels. I think it just looks cool having the tunnels kind of misty. Yeah, let's get something around here as well. I don't want to go over the top with the mist, but it is a lovely effect, and I'm using it sparingly, I would say, in this zoo. I probably could do a bit more. It's tricky because when you carry it around, it gives the mist out, and I feel like I've put it down and I haven't, and then it takes ages for the mist to clear away. It's quite annoying actually. Yeah, okay, there we go. That looks pretty cool to me. Excellent stuff. Actually, you know what I need on this tunnel, don't you? That's right. I need some vines. It's got to be done. Let's get the old angle snap on. Whoops. Okay, let's get that down, and let's see if I can get it hanging across here. There we go, lovely. A little bit of vine just as you go through the tunnel there, kind of strangling people as they walk past, which is fine. I just wonder if I could get another one actually just on this side. It's really hard to see where the angle is on this. Where are we? Wow, I couldn't be more wonky really, could I? Right, over like this. Wow, that's going to hang down way too much actually. Does it need to be? Yeah. Let's try this smaller one. Where are we? Right, so it needs to be a better angle. And over there, maybe not quite sort of right in the middle like that. There we go. Just a little bit of vine hanging down at the edge there, and then a little bit trying to strangle you as you walk through there. Lovely. Just what the zoo needed. Vines that try to kill you. Excellent. Well, that's turned out quite nice, I would say. So now we've got to decide what we're doing around here and where the pathway is going to go and where the next animal is going to go. So let's come back to our pathways. Let's do some curved slopes and some tunneling, because I think I want to bring this down. Okay. Is it flattened terrain? No. Maybe it's the railing aspect? No. I don't know. Why isn't that letting me do it? Maybe that's... Yeah, there we go. Just needed to start the tunnelling process first. That's fine. So what animal are we going to do next? How about the sloths, which is one of the exhibits? So if I get a pathway coming down, kind of snaking around a little bit, and then eventually getting to sort of here, and then flattening off like that. Let's see if I can then put the exhibit in. So it will need to be something like this. Let's see, how do I link this up? Let's try and get the height the same at least. And then if I just take that out, that's fine. I can work with that. Let's just see if I can get this path connected in. I can. Good. Right, so that's that sorted. Right, so I need to do a little bit of terrain work here. So basically we're just sort of going to create a little valley down here where the sloths live. Actually, if I do flatten to foundation, there we go. Let's do that, and then I can work with it from there, can't I? So let's come into this. Let's request an animal. Let's get some sloths. What have we got? Leandro, Letitia, Marcos, and Anna. Let's get... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get more of them. Let's get Elizabeth, Cristiano, Philippe, and Marissa as well. There we go. Lovely. Right, let's get them all in there. Oh, what has happened in there? How bizarre that it doesn't let me flatten that automatically. Okay, right. So this I want to be completely open. So there's your animals. Here's your layout. So we want to get all the bonuses. Climate a little bit cooler. Not that it matters. It's not like we've got welfare turned on. Okay, so we want these to be clear. Can I sync everything together? I think I can. None all the way down. Good, good, good. And then the floor. Let's go none, and then I'll do something. Or do I want a mulch? Yeah, let's go with the mulch. That's fine. I can work with that. Door none and none. do my usual there. Okay, right, how are we looking? Oh my word, they are so cute, aren't they? Oh, look at that, it's a cool little basket. I want one of these in my garden. They're just hanging around, moving incredibly slowly like they do. Oh my word, look at this dude. Oh, I mean, that's the life, isn't it? Amazing. So much fun. What was that? It's got a boom box. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's looking good. So what I need to do with the path is get rid of the railings until... Oh, they didn't go in. That's a shame. I'll get rid of the railings right back to there, I think. I think it's... I don't know. People might not go in until the pathway links on the other side. So maybe I should do that. We've got curved slopes on. Let's keep going with railing on it elevated, actually. And then what I'll do is I will just bring this back up and out here. And then if I get rid of tunnelling, hopefully that will flatten out. There we go, lovely. Yeah, and then I can link this back over here. So this will kind of go through a rock canyon kind of thing, and then link back into there. So it's just a big loop. And then I can always branch off of that, but at least for now there's a loop so people can walk all the way through. Lovely. Right, let's just get a bit of painting going on here. Make sure that long grass is gone. Still got just a little bit pushing up there. So the ground is a bit of an issue. I don't know quite what I'm going to be able to do to lift any of this. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but that's fine. I'm gonna do a whole load of rock work, I think, in here anyway. So I'll get all of this covered with rocks. There'll be sort of a cliff face coming up the side here. I might even try and make it look like the sloths can go a bit further. I think that would look quite nice if I get more sort of climbing stuff that stretches out, maybe at least make it look like a bigger enclosure than it is. I think that would look quite cool. Hopefully people are going to head over here to see them. I know the exhibit animals aren't always that popular, but I will get something else maybe sort of up here as well. So in the end I think it will look really cool. But I'm not going to get started on this today. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll probably do some water in here as I tend to. Actually, I wonder if I can do any water here. Let's just quickly see. No, it's not going to let me put any under here, is it? No, that's a shame. I'll play around with that. I might see if I can do some water here somewhere, because I think that would look pretty good if I can. It may be actually that if I, let's just see, if I do flatten to foundation, actually bring it right down, even lower than that, if I bring it right down to there, I could almost make the whole thing like a lake, potentially. That's interesting, isn't it? I could almost do it like an island. Like a sloth island. I like the idea. I'll work on that. I'll come back to that in the next episode. I think that could look quite cool. If I cover this with rocks, make it like a rock island that the sloths live on, and then you just got a little bridge on each side. Like a, you know, I could cover this with rocks as well. Or actually, why isn't that land has not worked, has it? We'll see. Anyway, it's an idea. It's an idea. We'll come back to that, but yeah, it's work in progress. So we'll look at that in the next episode. But yeah, at least we've got this area finished now, which is nice. So the whole zoo basically is done, like all the area that I've worked in. And now it's a case of expanding and deciding where we take it next. So there we go. That's going to do it for now. So let me know what you think of all the scenery around here. and what you think of my sloth habitat as well, which is kind of cool. Although I'll probably record the next episode before you see this one, so any of your feedback won't necessarily come in straight away, but it will still be much appreciated. But yeah, let's leave it there. So thank you so much for joining me. Please do come again in the next episode. I will hopefully see you then. Until then, do take care. Bye for now.